Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I trust that everyone is doing well today. Welcome to another video, guys. If you are new here and wondering who this beautiful lady is, my name is Natasha, and this, darling, is a space where we share experiences, we learn, and we grow. If you have not become a part of the family yet, please do so just by clicking that subscribe button below. And don't forget to hit your post notifications so that you never miss out on any of my videos, right? So hit the bell below, right? Or click on the bell below. For all the returning family members, welcome back, fam. You know the house rules. You make sure you're subscribed to the channel, you give the video a like, and you comment in the comment section down below, and we share the video so that we can reach more people, okay? So guys, I just actually realized that I have never actually done a video to actually talk about the story of the Uber driver that saved my life 4 years ago. And the story trended last year, and it was in various newspapers. So I thought it would only be fitting for me to come and sit down here and actually tell you guys how it all went down, okay? I'm really hoping that I don't cry and that I don't become emotional, especially because I've got mascara on today, guys, and I don't always have mascara on, only on special occasions. But yeah, I thought let me just come here and share the entire story with you guys, and in hopes that this will inspire someone or actually make someone's life a bit better, or just change someone's life for the better in any way, right? And more than anything, to encourage kindness, guys, to encourage kindness, looking out for each other, checking up on each other, and just being there for one another as family, friends, and just being kind, being a kind human in general, to even strangers that you don't know, right? So anyways, so in 2020, in the year 2020, guys, Nandigoa. If you're watching this and you're not from South Africa, then you won't understand the depth of this word. Ndandigoa, guys. Ugoa is basically to go through something, like when you go through it, you know? I'm not just talking about experiencing life challenges or whatever, but when you are going through something that is just eating the life out of you, that is just draining you in every aspect, like mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, right? Ndandigoa, guys, I was going through so many things. To be honest, I can't even pinpoint like all the things that I was going through. Some I do remember, but I can't really share them on this video because they are quite personal. But basically, I was going through a lot of challenges in terms of work, in terms of relationship, in terms of family, in terms of finances. Like, guys, have you ever been in that situation in your life when you feel like nothing is coming together, like 1 + 1 is not equaling 2? Like, I was just going through a lot, guys, during that period of my life. And like, no part of my life was better. Like, everything was just, you know, like, sometimes I feel like maybe if a certain part of my life was, you know, at least going well, I would have just, you know, I would have been more hopeful, and I would have been more positive. But I think the problem was that every aspect of my life during that time was just drowning, guys. Like, it was just bad, 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 bad. And I remember I struggled to pray during that time. I remember just asking God, like, what are you doing in my life? Like, what is this? Like, why am I in this situation? And I think it even hurts when you're a person who has gone through so many struggles in your life before. And, you know, when you're a person who always has to struggle to get anything in your life, for every success that I've ever got or received in my life, I literally had to go through a lot of challenges and struggles. And I think that year, I just got to a point where I was like, God, I'm tired. Like, I'm really drained. Like, I have no power in me. I have no strength in me. Like, I'm just tired. Like, I don't have the strength to carry on. I don't have the strength to even try, basically, because I just felt like if this situation requires me to just give a bit of my strength, I didn't have it, guys. It wasn't in me. Like, I was just ready to give up, guys. I was ready to throw the towel in and just literally just give up. So that's what I was going through. And I think my mental health at that time of my life was at its worst. I've had mental health issues quite a number of times in my life, but 2020, it was just a lot, guys. Like, there was just a lot happening at that time, and my mental health was not at its best. So ndandikoa basically, guys. And unfortunately, I had suicidal thoughts creep in, and I was just thinking of the worst things. My mind was just not functioning the way it should. Like, spiritually, I was dead. Mentally, I was drained. Physically, I was drained. Emotionally, I was gone, guys. And there was nothing that anyone could have said, I think. Well, I thought there was nothing that anyone could have said or done that would make me feel better, that would make me feel better, or even make me change my mind. So anyways, fast forward, on this specific day, I requested an Uber, and the Uber driver happened to be Barto. He picked me up from my location and he started driving, right? So I didn't know who he was. It was my first time meeting him. He didn't know who I was. It was his first time meeting me. So as the Uber starts driving, I could feel, you know, the thing of when you but because it's when you're already crying. But I had that feeling, you know, that feeling when you just want to let it out. Because I feel like I had been bottling up so much over the years, and or maybe over the year, over that specific year, I had been bottling up so much. I hadn't been talking to anyone about a lot of things that I was going through. I was pretending to be okay. I was pretending that my life was good, but deep down and mentally, I was just finished. I was a mess, guys. I just had that thing where I felt like I wanted to let it all out. And I think I didn't want to let it all out when I was alone. I actually needed someone to speak to. So when I entered into the Uber, I greet Barto, he greeted me back. And as I started driving, he started asking me like, how are you doing? And I tried to pretend at first and act like I was fine and everything was good. So I was like, I'm fine, you know, but obviously my fine was very dull. It was very depressive. And I remember he looked through the rearview mirror and he was like, are you really okay? And I just burst into tears, guys. Like, I couldn't hold it in. Like, I just started crying. I felt like something had been opened in my heart and my mind and my mouth and my eyes, and everything was just pouring out. And I remember how he just asked me if he could stop somewhere. He stopped the car and I was like, oh my God, this man better not take advantage of this opportunity or this time, you know, because obviously we all know gender-based violence is an issue in South Africa, and men like to take advantage of moments like that when you're vulnerable and you're at your lowest, you know. So I was just cringing and I was like, oh, I hope this man is not going to do something, you know, bad to me, especially being that I'm in this moment where I'm vulnerable and at my lowest. And obviously I'm this tiny little girl. So I was just so afraid. And I remember he was so gentle and so kind, and he was like, can I just stop and give you a hug? And I was like, that is weird. But I was like, you know what, at this point in time, I just need someone to talk to. I just need to let it out. I just need comfort, some form of comfort. So he stopped the car and he asked me if it's okay, if he could give me a hug. And I was like, yeah, it's okay. And as he gave me that hug, he was like, I don't know what you're going through and you don't need to tell me in detail, but let me just tell you that God is with you and don't give up. And yo, guys, I don't remember all the exact words that he said, but I remember him telling me to not give up and that God is with me, and that you know, tough times don't last, that there's always like a light at the end of the tunnel, and that he also went through a lot of things that made him want to give up on life, you know, but he persevered. He tried his best to carry on and push through life. And he just kept encouraging me, guys. And I didn't even say a word about what I was going through or be specific about it. And I just cried and cried. Guys, I was just letting it all out. I felt like it was just a well that had been closed for a long time and that was just opening up. So he continued to encourage me, and eventually I felt much better, got back into the car, and he proceeded to drop me off at my destination. And he just continued to encourage me even in the car, and dropped me off at my destination, and I went into my place. I just continued crying, right? And I remember something told me after that encounter that just take screenshots of this Uber driver's details. I don't know why I did it at that time. Like, I had no idea what I was doing or why I was doing it. So I took the screenshots of the whole trip and who he was and whatever, and I just kept them on my phone. And I remember sitting there and thinking, wow, 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 wow. God is such a miraculous God. Because he didn't know, but that day I was ready to throw in the towel, guys. I was ready to just give in. I was just ready to just end it all. Like, I was finished. Like, I felt like I had no purpose. I felt like there was nothing left for me on this earth. I felt like no one cared about me. I was not seen. I felt like I was useless. I felt like God did not care about me anymore. He did not see me anymore. Like, I felt like my presence was not needed on this earth anymore. Like, I felt like even if I died, it wasn't going to make any difference. Nothing was going to change. And I felt like actually my absence would actually make the world a better place than my presence. So he gave me hope. He gave me hope, and he made me feel like I can still push. He gave me that small strength that I needed to carry on pushing and to give that last push and trust in God. And that's what he did for me. So that day, for the first time, I think in weeks, I managed to open my mouth and actually pray to God. I remember it was the shortest prayer that I prayed in a long time, but I just uttered a few words to God, and I was like, I'm going to try and push. I'm going to try and keep my faith in you. I'm going to try and see what you're going to do for me in the next couple of days. And I'm just asking for strength more than anything. And long story short, I found myself in a better place a couple of weeks later. Months passed, a year passed, 2 years passed, 3 years passed, and my life was just becoming better and better. And yes, I still continued to experience challenges, obviously, because we don't live in a perfect world, so we're not going to have a perfect life. But I found myself in a better space, in a better place, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And last year in January, as I was actually browsing through pictures on my phone and, deleting a few pictures because I was just trying to clear my phone up, I came across the pictures the screenshots that I took of the Uber driver's details. And I felt like the Holy Spirit was telling me, it's time to thank him. So I went on my Facebook, I posted the pictures with a long post, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to find him. I don't know if he's still alive. I don't know if people are even going to be interested in sharing the post. Like, I had no expectations whatsoever. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going in with the hopes of finding him so that he can see the post and know what he did for me. And that's just about it. And my main aim was just to find him and him seeing the post and knowing that I'm grateful for what he did for my life that time and for his kindness. And I was shocked because I remember I posted the whole post on Facebook and I logged off. And I think I only went on Facebook the next day. And I realized the post went viral. So many people had shared the post. It was just crazy, guys. I couldn't believe it. And eventually I found Bartu. And I remember there was one guy who actually connected me to him. I don't remember his exact name, but I know his Facebook name is Goody. I think his name is Goody on Facebook, if I'm not mistaken. He connected me to Bartu, and we ended up video calling while I was at work that day, and I just cried, and he cried, and we both cried. It was such a crazy story, guys. And I remember that whole month I was getting calls from media personnel, who wanted to interview me about the story and all of that. We had an interview with Herald, we had an interview with News 24, and another news personnel. The biggest lesson that me sharing the story, or some of the biggest lessons that I took from me sharing that story and everything that transpired after I shared the story, was, first of all, it's important to be kind. It's important to realize that we are all going through things, guys. Like, some things that are so hard to put in words, some things we cannot explain to other people. And in as much as people look happy, on social media, but people are going through stuff in the background. People are fighting battles that you don't know about. People are crying tears that you don't know about. So it's so important that you are kind to every person that you meet, irregardless of whether they are kind to you back, but it's just important for you to be kind as a person. And the other lesson that I took out of it is that there is so much power in social media, because I didn't expect that I would find him, and I didn't expect that I would find him so quickly. And I think I've once mentioned this in one of my videos, that social media is both a blessing and a curse, because sometimes social media can really be detrimental to a person's mental health, and sometimes it can do so much good in terms of spreading the word and helping people out. So yeah, that was the story, guys, and that's what happened. And I'm so grateful, man. I'm so grateful. Bato and I are still in contact. We still have each other's WhatsApp numbers, and we have each other on all social media platforms. We talk often. We comment on each other's pictures and videos. We are literally just good friends at the moment. And I know ultimately it was God who sent him. It was the power of God, and it was God's will and God's plan. But if Batu did not obey or be obedient to God and God's instruction towards me, then maybe things would have turned out differently. Maybe I wouldn't even be here speaking to you guys right now. So yeah, guys, that was the story basically of the Uber driver that saved my life. I'm going to insert Batu's social media details in the description box below in case you guys are interested in following him. And yeah, that is just the story, guys. And I really hope the story inspires someone that it's important to be kind. It's important to check on your loved ones, check on your friends and your family. I know that we live in a world now where people have pride, where we don't want to be the bigger people or the bigger person, and we live in a world where there's just so much that transpires between family dynamics and friend dynamics, where a person would be like, I'm not going to be the one to be the bigger person, or call them, or text them, or check up on them. And we just live in the society where there's a lot of feud, and there's a lot of enemies in between friendships and families. And I just want to say that those people who are close to you and who you have a genuine relationship with, check up on each other often, give each other calls, text each other to just check, how are you doing? Are you still feeling good? Are you still doing well? How's life? How's family? How are the kids? How's your partner? How's the husband? Or whatever the case may be. It's so important, guys, because people are going through things. People are literally burying themselves in their issues and their mental health problems and their depression. There's just a lot that is going on, and it's important for us to constantly check on each other and to just be there for each other. So yeah, guys, that's the story. I really hope it inspires someone, it motivates someone, and I really hope that you guys share the video so that it can reach more people. And yeah, more than anything, spread love and kindness, guys. I will catch you in the next video.